Hey, good morning. BJ Ando, out and about on the Recumbent. Today is Friday. I think it's the 6th, but I'm not 100% sure. This is Pike View Reservoir, just off of the Pikes Peak Greenway here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And yeah, well, Joe had a dental appointment today, so howdy. So I'm out riding solo. So yeah, so we're gonna try to back this up without running over anybody. Or getting me run over. Nope, I see somebody coming, so I'll have to wait. Okay, it's just a walker, so I can just kind of back off and go. There we go. Drop the pedal and go. Yeah. A little 360 here. Catch a little of the Pikes Peak back there in the background. All right. Okay, I got to do a quick hand switch here because I got to kick my level down because I came up a pretty good incline. Get her back down to 1 here. All right, that's Monument Creek. Well, Monument Valley Creek technically, but I think they just call it Monument Creek. Yeah, like I said, we're on the Pikes Peak Greenway, and main thing I'm doing today is, first of all, it's a lovely day. It's going to be like 60 degrees, barely a breeze, just a slight breeze, and supposed to be like this all day. So yeah, yesterday we did a shopping run. We went out and bought new sheets and new pillows. We desperately needed new pillows and some other things, and over at Walmart, and I was having problems with my camera. It kept telling me I had SD card error. So after it recorded just fine, so I decided to do what they call, reformat. So I reformatted all my SD cards, and the first part was on the SD card that was giving me the real problem, and for today's ride, and it seems to be working just fine now. So I'm not quite sure what to. As the song says, what's going on? It's a little by the creek view here. Howdy. Yes, I got some ice hanging around. Not much though. Yesterday was 55 and sunny, very nice. And because as you can see, I don't even have the bright yellow jacket on because it's so nice. Oh, we got a ranger coming down. That's one of our park rangers. Cool people. They do their best to try to keep these trails cleaned up and everything, but there's so few of them. I mean, there's so few of these poor people. Yeah, good people, very good people. I wish we had more. This is an urban trail. In fact, I'm not even sure it's even a true urban trail, because I think what it is the city fathers decided, long ways back, that they were gonna make this this trail through Colorado Springs. And I think they just figured it best to go right by the creek. Oh yeah, this is a beat up old bridge here. I mean, it's beat up. But yeah, so hopefully I have a little longer video off of this one. I did manage to get about 40 minutes worth of stuff for the video that's going to come on tonight, Friday night, at 5:15 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. And so appreciate it if you'd watch, check it out. And if you've been on the fence about subscribing, please subscribe, please. Because we are getting really close to 500. And that would be so cool. I don't care about anything really that much over 500, but that's kind of like the first mark, Not that anything happens. You can't put any get cash programs or anything like that. At 500, you have to be up to 1,000. And I would be totally stunned if we ever got to 1,000. But we really do appreciate you all watching. You know, I do this because I enjoy it. And kind of share, you know, what trail system we have here in Colorado Springs. Sadly, it's not a great one, like the Katy Trail or the Mickelson Trail, or there's so many of those trails. Or the Cowboy Trail in Nebraska. It's 200 miles long. The High Trestle Trail in Iowa, and that's because that trail is not that long, but you can hook into the Raccoon Valley Trail, and you can do like well over 100 miles of an uninterrupted trail. That would be so sweet. Plus, too, there's like little towns all the way, up and down these trails. So, you could go out for 25 miles, spend the night. 25 miles, spend the night. 50 miles, spend the night. You could go either way. So, there's a really cool, overnighter or weekender destinations, Sadly, we don't have that here. I wish we did. They have, they've been yakking and jumping up and down about completing the Front Range Trail. Howdy. And which would go from, see, I got this right, Cheyenne, Wyoming to Raton, New Mexico through Colorado. And it's kind of like the Great American Rail Trail. There's a few pieces, but it's nowhere near complete. And they tell you that the Great American Rail Trail is 55% complete. Yeah, well, all that 55% is in 5 or 6 places. Yeah, I'm aiming this at me because I didn't figure you'd want to see the porta potty. Must have had some road construction down here. But yeah, I said this is the Pikes Peak Greenway, and basically, I guess I've always kind of been wrong. I always thought that the Pikes Peak Greenway was made up of 3 different trails. Okay, it starts down south, just north of the little town of Fountain, which ain't so little anymore, and and then that comes up into Colorado Springs. And then once you get to Woodman Avenue in Colorado Springs, it again turns back to dirt, and it heads up to the small towns of Monument and Palmer Lake, Colorado. And it could, if they'd ever, really finish it, it could take you all the way to Castle Rock, Colorado, which would be like 60 miles north of Colorado Springs, That would really be nice. I mean, that would be sweet. But I don't know if they'll ever do that. Now, some people can, if you got the right trike, or, you got a recumbent bicycle or mountain bike, something that you can put knobby tires on, just beat up, and don't care about much. You can go pretty far, because now Toby Johnson, otherwise known as Pitmaster Toby, does take really good care of his trikes. So I guess I should take that back. Sorry, Toby. And but he has a Tie Fly X, which is like the big full suspension 26-inch wheels all the way around. That thing's an off-road mile muncher. So then he's gone all the way to, I think he's gone almost all the way to Castle Rock. You have to forgive me. The two towns that we've ridden to on trikes are Castle Rock to the north of Colorado Springs and Canyon City to the south. But they both belong with what? A C. So sometimes my brain can't remember all the rest of the letters to the C. So you'll have to, like I said, you have to forgive me. Okay. Up the hill. Not much of a hill, it's just a little more like up the rise. That sounds kind of degrading, doesn't it? Up your rise. Ah, yeah. Well, since Joe's not here, I can be silly. So, but yeah, like I said, it's going to be a beautiful day. We're going under I-25 here, and all the couple of extra streets interchanges that it hooks to. Good morning. And yeah, I thought you probably didn't want to look at me, so I'm cool. There's I don't know if that's a duck or a goose. I think it's a duck. Big for a duck, though. And I probably can't see him with this camera, but he's sitting on an iceberg in the in the creek, which is, you know, better than the Beatles and sitting on a cornflake. So yeah, we're just about to Criterion Bike Shop. See another C. The C's are out to get me, folks. But yeah, well, that makes me happy, because I thought, for this GoPro 6, 2 or 3 months ago, we were on the Rock Island, and trail, and well, the original mount that I had was made out of plastic, and man, that thing snaps. I was hitting like 24 miles an hour on a really good downhill, and it just snapped, and it took a tumble. Luckily, it only hit the concrete once, and it just hit the very edge of the camera. So that helped me a lot. But I hooked it up, and it started working right away. But it seems like it's had some malfunctions here and there. But I can't, really can't tell if they're card malfunctions or if they're camera malfunctions. So far, we seem to be doing okay today. And I think I just might have had, some residue or whatever you would call it left over on the SD card. And it was trying to record, but it was messing with it. Now, this is a Criterion Bike Shop here. They've been here for quite a while. They have. Okay, we're gonna passing on your left, ladies. Thank you. Have a good day. And yeah, tried to show you this side because the other side is a wall. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall. Oh, you poor people. Yeah, when I'm by myself, I can get evil. Because then Joe can just go, oh, that's my husband. What a pain. But yeah, we're hoping, to be able to go somewhere this summer. I don't know where we're going to go, but exactly, because one of the problems is that motel hotel prices have just gone through the roof. I mean, we've got we've got a trail that we could do very easily within a day, and it's the Jenny Lake Trail up at the Grand Tetons National Park. Ta-da! And well, it's not that far. We could get there on 1 day's truck rental, and so we could get there, have a whole day, and come back and only have 3 days truck rental, which isn't too terrible. And because we have to buy insurance too, because we don't own a car, so we have to pay for extra for our insurance. And but it's feasible. But the hotel rooms, any of the lodges up there are $400 start at $400 a night. Holy cow! I am not Donald Trump or Jeff Bezos or however you pronounce the guy's name, or $400 for a single night. Man, that better include all 3 meals, a massage, and and a hot tub in room. Good morning. I always feel sorry for the runners. I'm over here enjoying myself to the, just like happy. Everything's great. It's pretty. It's so nice. I'm kicking back. And they look like, don't talk to me, I'm going to die. Well, some of them are, man, you can tell they're really fit people, because, man, they don't even look like they're sweating. And they're just kicking around at a pace I couldn't even think about. And I mean, just like, wham, 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 wham. All right, let's catch some bikes here. Howdy. Morning. Some of them electrics, no E, starts with an L, electric bikes. They are very popular. The only thing I don't like about them is that nobody sells them, so you can't go to a shop. Although I did see the Colorado Springs bike shop here in town, which, man, I bought a lot of bikes from those folks. Well, the original owners, that they moved to Florida, bless their heart. And we may not see eye to eye on politics, but they are wonderful people. Ed and Bonnie. I'm sorry, guys, I can't remember your last name. I don't even know if I ever knew your last name. But they were so easy to deal with, and totally friendly, even on their worst days. And anytime you own a shop, you're going to have some bad days. Things didn't get in, people are being jerks, just kind of all that stuff. I mean, it happens. But at least to Joe and I, they treated us extremely well. And of course, they had the best mechanic in town. His name is Rocky. I don't know your last name, Rocky. Sorry, buddy. But he was the master of his craft. Howdy? He literally knew how to do everything. If you had a weird problem, Rocky could fix it. And Rocky was, unlike a lot of the mechanics today, that if you bring a recumbent trike in, they have a cow, like, I can't work on that. It's weird. It's stupid. He was like, cool. Oh, something different. So Rocky was great. So what I'm doing right now, if you really want to know, of course you do, don't you? Oh, come on, you want to know? Okay, I'm heading up to the Cottonwood Creek Trail exit, or hook up in the junction here. Not like Petticoat Junction, but you'd have to really be old to remember that TV show. Yeah. So here we go. Now we're going to stay away from the ice here. My trike isn't ice, but I don't like ice. Okay, so now we're on the Cottonwood Creek Trail. Yay! Did you guys know that they had the Muppets back on, the Muppet Show back on? It was Wednesday on ABC. So cool. How can you not like the Muppets? Okay, I mean, they are just funny. If they can't make you laugh, well, I don't know, man. Maybe it's time to stick a flower in your chest and call it a day. All right. Little Cottonwood Creek action there through the rock fall. I like these rock falls better than the cement ones. Although the cement ones are still kind of cool. But I'm not going up the trail all the way. Because basically what's going to happen is that I'm headed over to Panera Bread in the University Village, Colorado Center. Yes, where you can get fine accoutrements, whatever an accoutrement is. Okay, because I have $3 off a bowl of soup, and I love their creamy tomato soup. It is good stuff. Good. And we're going to go over the bridge here. The big bridge you saw coming up, that's the old Denver Highway Bridge, and you can't go on that one. I guess that one's like, totally El Tosto. That's right there. You can't really see it very good, but I don't think I can get over the thing here. So yeah, give you a panorama here. So we're going to go, instead of going through the tunnel, we're going to go up here and just do kind of a whip around, grab the bike lane for a minute, because they have a sidewalk, but it has a bunch of big bushes all over the place, and they always get in your way. Oh, this lady is right in my way. Well, we're going to go around her. Oh, okay, she's moving. Yeah, so that's what we came over right there, down in there, if you can see it. It's the only problem with the GoPro, it doesn't have a really good, doesn't have a telephoto. They really need to make a GoPro with a true telephoto. I know the new GoPros in a traffic circle here, so I got to make sure I do my yielding. But yeah, see, these are these bushes, and if you're on the sidewalk, they stick out really bad and kind of whip up on you. So a good view of the peak, even through all the wires and the fence and all that other modern age garbage. Sorry, my arm's getting tired. Okay, so now we're going to go on the Vincent Frontage Road, which will take us over to what I call the Nevada Avenue access path. But yeah, so I'm probably going to stop the video over here, because we're going to get into the oogly section. We're just going right down the Nevada Avenue access path, and it's all businesses and apartment complexes and really oogly stuff. Oogly is worse than ugly, okay? You have ugly, then you have oogly. Okay, so now you've learned something today. It's a good day, isn't it? Okay. They got this doggy daycare thing. This place has a pool. I mean, a pool for your dog. Wow. I don't even have a pool. How can a dog have a pool? All right, well, like I said, now we're getting down into the oogly part, so I'm gonna get you one more view of Pikes Peak here, and then I am going to get back to you. All right, bye for now.